John,
I'm sorry?
you understand that if I give you a lawful order to come out of your house, and you're refusing that lawful order for me to speak with you?
John, you know you're on bail, right?
The cops came to my house to arrest me on Friday. This was in response to a brief call I had made on Thursday to a guy named Thomas Banner. I recorded the call and uploaded it to YouTube recently if anyone is interested in hearing it. The relevant history is this. In August of 2024, Benner had accosted me with vulgar language, threatened me with violence, and then repeatedly assaulted me with his motor trike. He then called the police on me. He admitted to investigating Officer Nichols that he had done this, and he said it was because he was offended by the vulgar language on my protest sign. The motor trike he had used to assault me with was allegedly damaged during his attack, though, and so I was charged with criminal mischief over the alleged damage and given a bail condition not to have any contact with Benner.
Don't worry about it. But that son of a bitch will be over that guardrail. I am not putting up with it. I'm not going to have him seeing signs in the front of my house.
He wasn't charged with anything at all, despite everything being captured on video. Anyway, I was tried and found not guilty last Thursday, and so the bail condition to not have contact with Benner was obviously lifted at that time. And this was well before I called him later that same day. In response to my call, which I thought was basically friendly enough, Benner claimed that I was threatening him and called the police on me again. When the state troopers arrived at my house, they claimed that the bail condition not to contact Benner was still in effect. They spent a bunch of time trying to convince me to come out of the house to just talk with them. They would not admit that they were there to arrest me. But as I kept pointing out, we were talking just fine through the window with me in the house, so there was no reason for me to come out of the house. They finally admitted, though.
So you're under arrest right now, okay? I want that to be clear so there's no confusion.
And they also said,
We're going to apply for a search warrant, come in, arrest you anyways, and be a little concerned, right?
But notice he said search warrant, not arrest warrant. But they were there to arrest me, not search my house. At the time, I took that as a veiled threat to come in and trash my place, which the cops can basically do legally if they want to. They would almost certainly have been able to get a warrant. And while they waited for the warrant, more cops would probably show up. It would have been a long, tense, drawn-out scene which would end up with my place potentially being trashed and me arrested regardless. Plus, I knew it was a mix-up, that the bail condition to not contact Benner had, in fact, definitely been lifted, and so I would be released relatively soon. Unless they concocted some new excuse to charge me with something, which they didn't seem to have. They were just on about the Benner issue. So I went with them voluntarily. The cops were pretty professional about everything. They lied a bunch, but not the kind of lies that get someone in trouble. They weren't lying about me or falsely accusing me of a crime like Nichols did in the Benner situation. They were just trying to make their jobs easier, which, as it happens, is perfectly legal for them to lie in that way, and you can't even sue them over it. Anyway, they transported me to Waldo County Jail, and I spent the night there, and something really suspicious happened.
Waldo County Correctional Center?
Hi, I was arrested Friday, and I have a question that's going to take a second to explain. Have you got a minute?
Sure.
Okay, great. So like I say, I was arrested on Friday by Maine State Police, and they said it was because there was an incorrect bail conditions in their system. Well, they didn't say that at the time. They said that there were these conditions that led to my being arrested. I said they were incorrect, and they said, well, maybe we'll see, and anyway, like that. So I grabbed my keys, my phone, my wallet, and then they handcuffed me and transported me to Waldo Jail, and I was booked in. And then later on Friday night, I was told that the district attorney had moved to revoke my bail and keep me in jail. So he was planning on charging me with something, I assume. But then the next morning, the DA emailed the jail and said that I had been arrested in error because of incorrect bail conditions, and they released me. And then here's where I guess the jails part kind of comes in more. So when I was being released, I was told that by the CO, one of them, there were two present when I was being released, and one of them said that she said that my property wasn't logged in properly when I was booked on Friday, and so she said she was going to do another one with me, which I thought they did on the way out anyway. I don't remember if they did two. Where I was excited about being released when I found out I was being released, but at least we went through at least another one. I don't, but I never got a copy of that. And then after I walked out of the jail and was well on my way home, I realized that I had my phone and my wallet, but I didn't have my keys with me. And luckily, I keep a spare stored hidden near my house, so I was able to get in. I assumed I just must have lost my keys along the way somehow, or dropped them, or maybe left them at the jail. And so I almost called the jail, but I to see if I'd left them there, but I just didn't get around to it until now, sort of, because are you with me so far, basically?
Yeah.
Okay, so now we're getting to kind of the punchline. Is just now I found those keys in a pair of work pants, which I would never put them in, because I'm never far from my house when I'm wearing those pants. I use them exclusively to work, cut wood, whatever, right around the house. I never put I just wouldn't do it. So here's my theory, and then I have a question for you at the jail. Well, basically, I think that, well, here's a possible explanation. Let me put it this way: the Maine State Police retained my keys, and that's why stuff wasn't properly logged in when I was booked. They retained my keys, came out here, searched my place, put them in a pair of pants that they thought I would think, oh, I must have left my keys here instead of brought them. I'll subpoena their body cam footage, and we'll see if I had my keys on my way out. And so that's not on the jail. What I need from you guys is any paper, like the copies of the property. I never got, like I say, I never got. Typically, you're given a copy of that property log when you are released, right?
No, you're given one to sign, saying you get all your stuff back, but we keep it for our record.
Oh, I thought I remembered getting. Well, maybe it's like Two Bridges that does that. There was some. Anyway, okay, so that's not unusual then. But is it possible for me to get a copy of that? I mean, I could FOIA it, I guess, right? But is it just without me doing it? Submitting a formal FOIA? Is it possible for me just to get a copy mailed to me?
Well, I can ask my supervisor if I can get you a copy of it.
Yeah, like I say, if not, I'll do. I'll submit a formal FOIA request in writing and do all that. But I'm sure I will have to do with the Maine State Police and their body cam footage. But I just any documentation that may evidence what might have happened regarding my keys and the weird situation, the weird kind of way all that went down. And so I'm guessing property log would be the thing that you guys at the jail would have that might help with that. So yeah, if you could you just put in? I won't hold you up any longer, but could you, if I give you my name, and Address, could you just check and see? Hello?
Yeah, I'm serious.
Oh, okay. I heard a beep there. You can just put in a request with your supervisor, and then if I don't hear anything back from, there's no hurry on this. So if I don't hear anything back from regarding that, then I'll put in the formal FOIA request. Does that sound workable?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So my name is Sean Floyd. It's SEANFLOYD. And you probably have my. You must have. I know you have my. Yeah, you guys have my. You'll definitely have my address on file.
Sean Floyd, middle name Joseph.
Yes.
1966.
Oh, you got it all. You got all my info. Yeah. Okay. So if you could just have them mail me that, if that's not an issue, if it is an issue for some reason, I obviously won't get it, and I'll proceed from there.
Okay.
Can I ask who I'm speaking with? Have we interacted before? I don't know.
I don't think so.
No.
Officer Page.
Officer what? Page. Well, it's been nice interacting with you. You've been very helpful, Officer Page, and I hope you have a nice day.
All right. You too.
Thanks. Bye.
Bye.
Now, maybe there's a slim chance I'm misremembering that I somehow forgot my keys. I remember to grab everything else, but I forgot my keys, and for some reason in the rush to, grab stuff, I slid them into the pants, these other pants. It seemed highly unlikely and very unlikely, and I would have noticed at some point along the way as they took, when I went back out and they took all my stuff back out of my pockets and said, "You okay? You got this?" I mean, I don't know how that could have happened. Possible. And there could be some other weird, innocent explanation, like maybe they got dropped on the lawn and I don't know, my brother stopped by and saw them and picked them up, and there could be something. I'll FOIA the body cam footage. We'll see if I did indeed, because that should be on, them taking my stuff out of my pockets. They did that. Their body cams presumably were recording that. The red lights were on whenever I looked at the body cams. So I'll try to FOIA that and see, but I don't know. It's freaking me out a little bit. There may be, like I say, some innocent explanation, but I think what happened is the cops came back here and did that for some reason, to search my place, to plant something. It's freaking me out a little bit. So I would love any thoughts that anybody else might have had, might have about this. Anybody that's had similar experiences with the cops, especially the Maine State Police, I have no idea. Anyway, yeah. Thanks for listening, and keep fighting, and peace. Wait, what do you mean? This hasn't induced my PTSD again? Is that a knock at the door? Are the cops here? Oh, calm down. Oh my God. Calm down. Oh my God, I heard a car outside. Is that the cops? Holy crap.